So with patch 0.6.4, there were some changes to the expedition station, where previously, as you exceeded the total firepower requirement for the expedition, you lowered the timer and you could lower it down to as little as 5 minutes 51 seconds. Now you still lower the timer, but not as much, and instead you start getting increased reward amounts. The Rain Syndicate Smuggling Warehouse is typically a 1 hour duration with a 500,000 firepower requirement. I could get it down to as little as 39, and then the rewards up to 1,348%. So what did I do to get there? What's the minimum amount of pals I need to do this? Well, the Rain Syndicate Smuggling Warehouse requires 20 neutral pals, and Palladius has the highest firepower of all the neutral pals. So I took 20 maxed out Palladius, and then 8 Zoes. Zoe has an absolutely insane firepower, and after accounting for all the Palladius, it took 8 Zoes before this reward didn't increase any further. If we take one of the Zoes out, you can see we get below 5 million firepower, and it loses some percent. If I add it in here, we get to above 5 million and the maximum rewards. Basically, the total firepower if you exceed the total firepower by about 10%, that is when you'll get the most rewards. So a 500,000 total firepower, if you get at least 5 million, you should reach this 1348 39-minute mark. There are some other 500,000 firepower expeditions. I like the Rain Syndicate Smuggling Warehouse because this one gives you cavern mushrooms, which are good for the healing grenades and some of the medicines. There's also the PAL Genetic Research Laboratory, which will give you all of the PAL souls. This has the same 500,000 firepower and 1 hour duration, but it's an ice type. I found that if you use 20 max Frostallions or Bastigors, and then 8 Zoes, you should hit that 39-minute, 1,348% expedition, maximums. The other good one is Dark Cave of Faybreak. This one has a little lower recommended firepower. It's 476,000 instead of 500,000, and it takes a dark type. Now, if you do, so I actually have a mix of dark pals here. I don't have 20 max Frostallion Nox, but I did do the math, and it would, even though Dark Cave has a lower total firepower, it should still take 20 Frostallions. We can actually do the math here. So this is one single, where are we at? Did I just get rid of the Frostallion? I got rid of the Frostallion. This is one max Frostallion. So we can do a little bit of math here. 169,950. If we used 20 of them, this would be our total firepower. The maximum should be 4.76 million. So 3,399. Get this, and then Zoe's firepower is 217,775. Okay, less Zoe's. So if you did Frostallion Knock, 20 Frostallion Knock just to meet this dark requirement, and then you need 7 Zoe's instead of 8. I'm curious, let's take a look. Do you need Frostallion knocked? So take a look at some PAL stats. I want dark. So after Frostallion knocked would be Necromus. And I do have, I think, one max Necromus in here. Yeah, he's got Trust too. So Necromus is this 166,700. PAL DB's actually got it at 166,800. I wonder if I don't think I'm not missing anything. So maybe PAL DB's a little bit off. But if we go ahead and we use Necromus's value in here times 20, and then 4.76 million and then divided by Zoe. So if you did Necromis, you'd also need 7 Zoes. But if you don't want to breed a bunch of Frostallion Nox, you can always go with Necromis instead. Shadowbeak's also pretty close. You could probably do Shadowbeaks if you've got a raid army of Shadowbeaks already. You can probably use 20 Shadowbeaks and then 7 Zoes. There aren't really any others that I've found particularly useful. This Free Pal Alliance trading post is another one of the 500,000 firepowers, and it's just all Pal spheres. The Eternal Pyre's Market, I guess it's got chromite, but I believe Dark Cave gives you more chromite. Illegal Factors, a bunch of ammo. Moonflower Secret Hideout. It's possible Dog Coin. I believe you can get somewhere between like 100 to 130 Dog Coin if you maximize this. The best water pal is Neptilius. This one's not maxed out because it doesn't have max IVs, so you can actually get higher than that. You're probably going to need 8 Zoes for this water one. I'm looking at Neptilius on PalDB. It's 162, 825. You need 20 of them. This is a 5 million one. And then if I divide by Zoe, you'll... I wonder if you'll actually need 9 Zoes. I don't know how far this rounds. You might get away with 8 Zoes if you wanted to try out the dog coins, if that interested you. And then Ancient Faebrake Ruins is another dark type, but that's just a bunch of slab fragments that I suppose if you really wanted, you could do this one. You'd want to use Frostallion Nox. Anything else I just haven't found uses for, but they've all got much lower firepower requirements. So, for the most part, 20 of whichever pal has the highest firepower for the typing that you need, and then 8 Zoes. That'll get you, for the most part, maximum rewards for a minimum investment.